Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Conjury. And this time we're playing Kaela on a charge deck, STG, Strategy Tutorial Guide. How's everybody doing this morning? I am good. We have a nice armored smoothie. It's called the Gun Show. I love it. It's got no sweeteners in it. You know, I'm diabetic, so I've got to stay away from sweets as much as possible. Again, it's not medical advice, just for me. But yeah, this smoothie by the Armored Creature in Conjury is a really good smoothie. I mean, they are a really good smoothie maker. But anyway, this one's got avocado, blueberries, and I think a banana. That's it. No sweeteners. It's really good. I really enjoy it. And God, it makes you feel great. And yes, it does feel like the Gun Show. It does make those muscles pop. Got a little exercise in this morning, and I thought I'd throw a quick little STG out there because I don't have a lot of time today because some friends are coming in from out of town, and I'm going to be popping off in about a minute. So I thought I'd go over some of the strategies regarding a charge deck. And since I'm playing Kaela on Platinum, our Druid shapeshifter, whatever, I thought I'd talk a little bit about some of the cards that are very impressive to me. So if this isn't interesting to you, go ahead and fast forward about 5 minutes while I go over the main cards in this deck that are different. Now, go ahead and I'll hear you in 5 minutes. Now, let's talk about the cards that are good in Kaela's deck, and we're going to ignore the cards that are just part of the regular default cards in a Kaela deck.
Scratch. Disable. Scratch. Evade. Bear. Mana cost 1. The mouse. Mana cost. Root. Mana cost 2. Bull. Mana cost 2.
Okay.
Action. Deal
now
7 damage.
we're
Overload.
at the
2. Disable. Button.
We're at the
Double tap to
first
select.
card that's different for the Kaela deck, and it is Volt. It is a great card. It does a lot of damage, but it causes something called Overload.
Recall. Bull. Mana cost 2.
Let's double
Action.
tap
Deal
that.
7 damage. Overload. 2. Disable.
Okay,
Button.
so
Double tap to select.
it gives you,
Root. Bull. Mana cost 2. Action. Deal 7 damage. Overload. 2.
okay,
Disable.
you get 2 Overload. Now,
Double
if
tap to select.
you do not clear that Overload, you lose that mana the next turn. So it's very important to keep that in mind as we talk about the other cards.
Recall. Mana cost 1. Action. Draw 2 cards. Overload. 1. Disable.
This is a very simple card. You
Double tap to select.
You don't need this card for this deck. There's plenty of draw cards you can use, but there's a reason why I'm taking cards that are all about giving us that Overload. You're going to understand it soon once we get to the weapon.
Uproar. Mana cost 1. Action. Deal 4 damage. Overload. 1. Disable.
Okay, Uproar deals 4 damage,
Double tap to
does
select.
1 Overload. Again, it's a super cheap, high damage card. It has a lot of value. I guess I would call this like an Overload deck. I think that's what I'm going to call it.
Guard. Mana cost 1. Action. Block 4 damage. Overload 1.
Guard
Disable.
blocks 4 damage.
Button.
It gives you 1
Double tap to
Overload. Guard is a fantastic card. You've got to run a good 3 of these, maybe 4. And if you're on Platinum, the more defensive, the better. Okay, let me go back to the other ones and tell you how many cards to run of that. Again, this is an STG.
Uproar. Mana cost 1. Action. Deal 4 damage.
I would say
Overload.
run
1.
a
Disable.
good 4
Button.
of this
Double
card,
tap to select.
Uproar, because Uproar is basically your basic damage card. Now remember, you're still stuck with Scratch, but the beauty of Scratch is in bear form, Kaela can do double damage with Scratch. All right, let's keep going.
Guard. Hammer. Mana cost 2. Weapon. Attack. 3.
All
Durability.
right.
3. Gain +1 attack each time you overload. Disable.
Hammer is fantastic.
Button.
So Hammer
Double tap to select.
receives. What do we?
Guard. Hammer. Mana cost 2. Weapon. Attack. 3. Durability. 3. Gain +1 attack each
You
time you
gain
overload.
plus
Disable.
1 attack every
Button.
time you
Double
overload.
tap to select.
Hammer gets plus 1 attack. So it's like a nimble. It's that useful. And the increases in attack power are fantastic. So Hammer is the primary weapon of an overload deck.
Bull. Mana cost 2. Action. Reinforce. Mana cost 2. Action. Give any equipment +2 durability. Disable.
Okay, I've got a okay.
Double tap to select.
Reinforce is not a good card for an overload deck. I have a better solution, but in case you're starting off early in your build, Reinforce is a great card to use in your Hammer. It's going to cost you 2 mana. It's going to give you 2 durability. Hammer costs 2 mana, so they're a perfect combination. You play Hammer, you pop on, you lay on and Reinforce.
Discharge. Mana cost 2. Action. Deal 2 damage and unlock any overloaded mana slot.
Okay,
Disable.
Discharge
Button.
is a tricky,
Double tap to
expensive card, but this is the card that makes this deck work so good. For just 2 mana, you remove all your overload, which means you don't suffer the mana loss next turn. Plus, it does a nice little 2 points of damage. Plus, it plays well with other cards like Scallion to increase its damage. Or if you have other cards that increase action card damage. So you've got to run a good 3 to 4 discharge. Only problem is they're very expensive.
Guard. Mana cost 1. Action. Guard. Disable. Guard. Mana cost 1. Guard. Disabled. Bolt. Mana cost 2. Uproar. Mana cost 1. Bolster. Mana cost 1. Action.
All right.
Give any equipment plus 2 durability. Overload. 1. Disable.
Bolster is your reinforce card, but better because it gives you an overload. And as you know, every time we overload, Hammer gets stronger by 1 attack point. So you're going to want to run at least 2 to 3 bolsters. I know that's really slow and that lowers your possible DPS. But the thing is, you want your Hammer to stay alive as long as reasonably possible.
Mana cost 8. Action. Deal 6 damage. Cost 1 less for each overloaded mana this game.
Now we're getting
Disable.
to the really sexy cards.
Double
like
tap to select.
So, oh yeah, all is great because all becomes a 0 cost card. As you know in Conjury, the most important dynamics of this game are getting 0 cost cards because all becomes 0 cost depending on how many overloads. It doesn't care when it comes into your hand. It doesn't care when you acquired it. Doesn't care if it came from a loot, if it came from whatever. It's going to cost you 0 if you've reached the number of overloads required to reduce its mana cost. It starts off at 8 and you can bring it all the way down to 0. It also benefits from Scallion, so you can increase its damage. And if there are other little tricks you've got up your sleeve, you can definitely use that. So this is a great card. It does a lot of damage, and it's gonna work great in your deck, especially if you're a little stuck with a lot of overloads. So all is fantastic. It's a great burn card. It works well in our deck. Again, I'm still new to using all, so in all I would spell it A-W, or AWE. It's up to you what you want to call it. I think AWE sounds better.
Discharge. Mana cost 2. Uproar. Mana cost 1. Storm. Mana cost 2.
Okay.
Action. Deal 4 damage to all enemies. Overload. 2.
Of course,
Disabled.
we've got to have an AOE,
Button.
which is
Double
area
tap to
of
select.
effect, because Storm does damage to all enemies on the field. It's great if you're on platinum level or gold level, where there are a lot of enemies rushing and clamoring to kill you. So with Storm, you're going to do 4 damage to everybody. It benefits from Scallion. And again, another cool thing about all is that you get that overload, which makes our Hammer stronger. But we've got a couple more surprises left in this deck.
Hammer. Mana cost 2. Scimitar. Mana cost 2. Weapon.
All
attack.
right.
4. Durability. 3. After each attack. Overload 1.
Here's
Disabled.
our fun surprise scimitar.
Double tap to
so
select.
Scimitar is a terrible weapon by itself, but in a deck with a hammer, I call it a dual wield deck. And yes, you could run blind. You could run a couple other different cards. Like you could run couple, you could run blind. Those are cards that benefit from you having 2 weapons equipped for the majority of your playthrough. But that's not what the real strength of Scimitar is. What is so great about Scimitar is every time you use it, it causes an overload. Now, normally that's a terrible thing, but not so bad when we have Hammer and Discharge. So we use Scimitar first. That increases the attack power of Hammer. Then we attack with Hammer, and then we use Discharge to remove all of our overloads. So isn't that fantastic? Or you can call it overload stacks. Overload stack, yeah.
Scimitar. Mana cost 2.
All right,
Weapon.
and
attack.
that is
4.
the, I'm
Durability.
sorry, I
3.
said 2
After each attack.
surprises.
Overload 1.
That is
Disabled.
the one surprise. Let me have a little
Button.
more armored smoothie
Double
here.
tap to select.
That armored creature makes a great smoothie. All right, so that is our deck, and let's go ahead and start the game. Well, we've already started. I do believe we beat 1 boss. Let's see how far we get. Again, this isn't sometimes, I mean, okay, any deck can be strong. Any person can make a deck fantastic. So these are just my opinions. I am not yet quite skilled enough to make this deck very successful, but I'm having a good time playing it. So let's go back.
Scimitar. Mana. Hammer. Guard. Uproar. Recall. Mana. Druid. Mana. Mouse. Mana. Spare. Mana. Evade. Mana. Scratch. Mana. Disabled. Scratch. Mana. Disabled. Cards collected. Close. View deck. View inventory. Sound effects volume. Music volume. Close. Options.
Also, want to send a
Button.
big shout out to
Double tap to
MyNoise for the lovely inspirational morning piece. Thank you. If you're looking to work, content create, pray, study, do a presentation, or just do some really strong, relaxing, fun activity, doing your laundry, you're in the subway, you need to relax, you're on a very crowded, loud bus, that's the perfect time to put on MyNoise, because then you can select your own soundscape that can just obliterate all that terrible sound. Say you're in the office and you got a next door neighbor in the office that farts a lot, is always on the phone being really loud. Well, that's where MyNoise comes in. You can make all these noise cancellation sounds, and you can create these beautiful things that make you feel great. And that's why MyNoise gets a free commercial, because they're wonderful, they're accessible, and they support me. And I never get any of those cranky notifications from YouTube that the music that I'm using is content copyrighted or some other undesirable notifications like that, because MyNoise makes sounds that are unique and special, and only MyNoise makes those sounds. You can find them in my description. Please rate them 5 stars in the App Store. Leave them a comment if you have any questions, and if you have any questions for me, please leave me a comment, because I'm always here. All right, let's go ahead and get started.
Options. Gems 1. Coins 10. Map screen. Location battle. Floor 1. Disabled. Location alter. Floor 2. Location battle. Floor 3.
All right, we're on
Button.
floor 3.
Double tap to select.
This is going to give you a great idea of how the deck runs, okay? So let's go for it.
Options bar. Which appears. Your turn. My incantations will echo in your defeat.
Okay,
Options.
we got a witch.
Button.
So
Double
for
tap
the
to
most
select.
part, I am very proactive with killing the witch, because she's very, very dangerous. There are a few creatures you've got to kill right away. Ogres, you got to kill witches, and there's a couple of other creatures like the serpents, anything that can stop your deck or kill you code. All right? So you got to knock those creatures out really fast. In the STG part of this particular episode, we are not so badly damaged by the witch in Overload deck. But then again, we can't allow her to become too active, okay?
Witch. Attack 2. Player info. Your hand. Scimitar.
Okay, we got the scimitar first.
Discharge. Recall. Full. Monocost. Storm. Monocost. Full. Monocost 2.
Okay,
Player info.
how much?
Witch. Attack 2. This health 10/10.
Okay, she's got 10 health, so we can't kill her easily.
Player info. Left. Your hand. Scimitar. Monocost 2. Weapon. Attack. 4. Discharge. Monocost 2. Recall. Monocost 1. Full. Monocost 2. Storm. Monocost 2. Action. Deal 4 bottom bar. End turn.
I don't want to use Volt
Button.
right away.
Double tap to select.
Actually, what I wish I had currently right now was a guard.
Your hand. Full. Recall. Discharge. Monocost. Scimitar. Monocost. Player info. Your hand. Scimitar. Monocost 2. Weapon. Discharge. Monocost 2. Action.
Let's go for
Recall. Monocost 1. Full. Monocost 2.
go for
Action.
Volt.
Deal set. Select a target. Target witch. Health 10/10. Scimitar. Bottom bar. Your hand. Storm. Recall. Discharge. Select
Let's
a target.
discharge
Target
that.
witch. Health
So you see
3/10.
how the play works. You
Button.
play Volt, then
Double
you
tap to select.
discharge it.
Scimitar. Monocost
While
2.
still doing
Weapon.
damage
Attack.
to the
4.
enemy.
Player info. Witch. Attack 2. This health 1/10.
And she's only got 1 health. That's not bad for 4 mana cost.
Player info. Your hand.
She is
Scimitar.
gonna hurt
Monocost
us,
2.
so
Weapon.
that's
Bottom
okay.
bar. End turn. Enemy turn.
That's fine.
Which deals 2 damage to you. Scimitar. Mole appears. Your turn.
All right. So again, this deck is all about eliminating enemies as fast as possible. But again, draw is the whole thing.
Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Uproar. Storm. Monocost 2. Action.
Let's go
Deal 4
for
damage to all enemies.
Storm.
Scimitar. Witch defeated. Plus 2 coins.
So,
Scimitar. Monocost 2. Weapon.
if you
Attack.
notice,
4. Durability. 3.
I
After
could
each
have
attack. Overload
gone a
1.
different way in that attack,
Button.
but I chose to
Double
use
tap to select.
Storm because Storm's going to hurt both enemies. And that's what AoE is good for. When you've got one enemy that's weak enough to die to Storm, you get double the value because it's also going to hurt the other enemy on the field.
Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Uproar. Monocost. Recall. Uproar. Monocost 1. Action. Deal 4 damage. Recall. Monocost 2. Scimitar. Monocost 2. Weapon. Attack.
go
4.
with-
Recall. Uproar. Player info. Mole. Options bar. Mole. Attack 3.
We got a mole.
This enemy is a temp. Health 6/10.
He's got 6 health,
Player info. Left web. Right web. Health 13/15. Mana 2/4.
and we've got
Overload
2 mana left.
Your hand.
And we got 2
Scimitar. Monocost
overload,
2.
which is
Weapon.
not good.
Attack. 4. Durability.
So,
Recall. Monocost 2. Action.
go with-
Uproar. Monocost 1. Action. Deal 4 damage. Overload 1.
let's go
Bottom
with
bar. Enter. Your hand.
Let's go.
Uproar. Monocost 1.
Go
Action.
uproar.
Select a target. Target mole. Health 6/10. Scimitar.
Hurt him
Monocost
as
2.
much as
Weapon.
possible.
Attack. Recall. Monocost 2. Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Recall. Monocost 2.
Let's
Action.
draw a
2
card.
cards. Not enough mana.
Okay, oh yeah, the overload's going. The overload, okay, so that's the thing. Overload kills your mana. Let me check.
Player info. Right weapon. Health 13/15. Mana 1/4. Overload 3.
We got 3 overload. We can't play any more Overload, I think, because it would eliminate all mana next turn.
Your hand. Scimitar. Mana cost 2. Player info. Mana 1. Your hand. Scimitar. Recall. Mana cost 2. Action.
Oh,
Draw 2 cards.
I'm
Overload.
sorry.
1.
It's because the witch hit it with
Double
her
tap to select.
ability. When the witch hits one of your cards, it increases their mana cost by 1. So we can't play Recall.
Scimitar. Mana cost 2. Recall. Bottom bar. End
Let's
turn.
draw a card.
Draw a card. End turn. Your hand. Guard. Bottom bar. End turn.
Hopefully we get the hammer
Button.
soon.
End turn. Disable.
Oh, we got
You still have unopened loop. Enter. Cancel.
a loot bag.
Left weapon. Right weapon. Health 13/15. Left weapon. Not right weapon. You still have unopened. Enter. Cancel.
Let's
Options.
get that.
Roll. Player info. Your hand. Bottom bar. Enter. Weapon box. Add to your deck.
We got another weapon. In this deck currently, we have 2 hammers. Both of them have been upgraded at the altar. And we have 1 scimitar. I wouldn't do anything much more than that. The only other weapons I would add to this deck is maybe a mimic.
Stay. Mana cost 2. Weapon. Attack.
No.
3. Durability. Dagger. Mana cost 2. Weapon. Attack.
That's
2.
no good
Durability.
either.
3. Scimitar. Mana cost 2.
Oh,
Weapon. Attack.
I
3.
don't know.
Durability. 3. After each attack. Overload 1.
Maybe
Button.
one more
Double
scimitar
tap to
would be
select.
good, but I'm not going to do it.
Draw a card.
Let's just draw a card.
Options. Roll. Player info. Your hand. Player info. Your hand. Scimitar. Mana cost 2. Bottom bar. End. Your hand. Scratch. Mana cost 1.
Okay, good. We got
Action.
another scratch.
Deal 2
So
damage.
you
Cost
got
2
to
damage while in bear
also...
mode.
Now, when you're playing
Button.
Kita, you got to
Double tap to
deal with
select.
all the boring scratches. So the whole Kita deck is very simple, but you got 4 scratches. They're basically for her bear form. You got 1 evade, you got 1 root, and you got one God Save the Queen mouse. So the mouse can avoid all damage, everything. So that's your oh shit mouse. But it saves you from everything, especially against bosses. All right, so let's, we can't do anything.
Player info. Roll. Options bar. Options. Roll. Attack 3.
Well, he's got to hit us for 3. And again, this deck benefits from having lots of guards.
Player info. Left. Your hand. Scimitar. Mana cost 2. Recall. Mana cost 2. Action. Draw 2 card. Not enough mana. Bottom bar. End turn.
Let's
Draw card. Disable.
In their
End
turn?
Enemy turn. Mo deals 3 damage to you. Recall. Eyeball appears. Your turn.
Okay, so eyeballs are bad. That's confused, but we're not especially worried about that in this deck.
Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Uproar. Mana cost
Okay,
1.
we got
Action. Deal 4
uproar.
damage. Overload. Scratch. Mana cost 1. Uproar. Mana cost 1. Action. Deal 4 damage. Overload.
Let's
Select a
uproar.
target. Target mole. Health 2/10.
Let's kill the mole.
Scimitar. Mole defeated. Plus
Okay,
2
we got.
coins.
Now
Scimitar. Mana
you
cost 2.
wonder
Weapon.
why
Attack.
I
4.
use
Durability. 3.
uproar
After each
instead of
attack.
scratch.
Overload 1.
I'm saving scratch for if we pull
Double
bear
tap to
form
select.
out, because that's a free 4 damage. Okay.
Player info. Eyeball. Options bar. Eyeball. Attack 1.
Okay, the eyeball is going to do 1 attack. They typically have a low attack, but they're also going to cause confuse. So these are beholders.
This attack will confuse you.
And confuse is very bad. It means that your action cards do not hit their intended target, but not necessarily. Sometimes when you're targeting the beholders in the game, you will hit them, but sometimes you will not. So when you are confused, use your weapons, because your weapons cannot be confused.
Player info. Left weapon. Nothing equipped. Your hand. Scimitar. Mana cost 2.
Okay,
Weapon.
it was
Attack.
scimitar.
4. Player info. Mana 0 Your hand. Scimitar. Recall. Mana cost. Guard. Mana cost 1.
We still haven't
Action.
pulled our
Block 4
hammer
damage.
yet.
Scratch. Mana cost 1. Bottom bar. Enter. Your hand. Guard.
Let's
mana
play
cost 1.
guard.
Not enough mana.
We don't have enough. Okay, we don't have enough. So let's see.
Player info. Left weapon. Right. Health 10/15. Mana 0/4.
Okay, we got no
Overload 1.
mana. We got 1 overload. We're going to lose 1 mana. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and end our turn.
Your hand. Scimitar. Bottom bar. End turn. Draw a card. Disabled. End turn. End. Disabled.
Oh, we got a loot bag.
You still
Sorry.
have enter. Cancel.
I keep forgetting
Options.
loots.
Eyeball. Player info. Your hand. Bottom bar. Loot bag.
Yeah, it is going
Add to
to
your deck.
confuse us.
Discharge. Mana cost 2.
Okay,
Action. Deal
discharge.
2 damage and
Oh,
unlock
that's
any
so
overloaded mana
good.
slots.
Oh,
Button.
discharge is great.
Double tap to select.
And what you're looking for is about 2 to 3 discharges.
Bear. Mana cost 1. Action. Transform into a bear. Your weapons deal double damage, but you take double damage.
Okay, since this is not a big
Button.
weapon Kita deck,
tap to select.
I wouldn't go double bears.
Blind. Mana cost 3. Action. Deal 5 damage. Cost 1 less for each weapon equipped.
This isn't a blind
Button.
couple. I
Double tap to
like
select.
that blind couple. Oh yeah, me and Marissa, we're a blind couple. I wouldn't do a blind couple deck with this deck. It just gets in the way. We're looking for overload. So let's take.
Bear. Discharge.
Discharge.
Mana cost 2. Options.
Okay, cool.
Button. Option. Eyeball. Attack 1. Player info. Left weapon. Your hand. Bottom bar. End turn. Draw a card. End turn. Enemy turn. Eyeball deals 1 damage to you. Fairy appears.
All right,
Your
we're
turn.
probably confused. Okay, now we got fairies. Now the fairy can be quite dangerous. She can heal, and I think the pixie can give enemies attack damage. And if a pixie gives a tree ant or any kind of creature that has attack power boost, like an ogre, a power-up, it can one-shot you, knock your socks off.
Bottom bar. Options bar. Fairy. Attack 3. Eyeball. Attack 2. Player info. Your hand. Scimitar. Mana cost 2. Weapon. Bottom bar. Enter. Your hand. Discharge. Mana cost 2.
We got discharge.
Action. Deal 2. Discharge. Mana cost
We got
button.
2 discharges.
Scratch. Mana cost 1. Guard. Mana cost 1. Recall. Mana cost guard.
Let's
Mana
play
cost 1.
guard.
Select a target. Target fairy. Attack 3.
Let's block the
Scimitar.
fairy's
Mana cost 2.
damage.
Weapon. Attack 4.
Let's
Durability.
get
Select a
let's
target.
get scimitar
Equip right.
on the
Recall.
right.
Mana cost 2. Action.
Now,
Draw 2 cards.
you
Overload.
might
1.
want to know why I
Button.
decide to put certain
Double tap to
weapons
select.
on certain hands. It's just a way for me to have a memory place. So I tend to put my hammer on the left and I put my scimitar on the right. Be aware if you're playing this on your iPad, they're reversed. So you do need to pay attention to that. It isn't an accessibility issue. It's just the way the iPad screen is laid out for the game. If you're looking for stuff, if you're visually diverse and you're looking for some beautiful graphics, you're going to want to check out the iPad because even though I can't see them, I can tell that they did a great job with the art. There are additional art you will see on the iPad. All right. Now, let's see how much mana we have.
Player info. Left web. Right web. Health 9/15. While confused. Mana 0/4.
Okay, we
Overload
got
1.
no mana left. We are not going to play... Okay, you notice I'm not playing our scimitar. Yes, it would be great to play it, but we're saving it for the hammer.
Eyeball. Attack 2. Player info. Eyeball. Attack 2. This attack will confuse you. Health 10/10.
He's got 10 health.
Player info. Left weapon. Eyeball. Attack fairy. This enemy intense. Health 11. Eyeball. Attack 2.
Fairy's got 11 health. Eyeball's got 10 health. How much damage
Fairy.
are
Health
you going
11/11. This enemy intends to attack you. Attack 0.
Oh, she's been blocked. I guarded her.
This enemy intends to health 11/ This enemy intends to attack you. Health 11/11. Eyeball. Attack 2.
And the eyeball's going to hit us for 2. But we're already confused, so it doesn't matter. Again, the eyeball doesn't hit you too hard. Okay, let's end our turn.
Player info. Your hand. Bottom bar. Options bar. Fairy. Eyeball. Player info. Your hand. Bottom bar. End turn. Enemy turn. Eyeball deals 2 damage to you. Porcupine appears.
Okay, now we got a porcupine,
so
so if we don't get our act together in this turn, we lose because a porcupine does so much damage. All right, so let's hope we got our combination. And again, this is very hard to demonstrate on platinum key level. But again, there's no other point because at this point, I'm trying to beat Kita on platinum. So I'm not going to play any easier difficulties. If I was playing this on bronze or silver, this would be super simple to demonstrate. Again, but there's no point in showing you something easy. Let's show you something hard, so it's a little bit more demonstrative of what you're going to be dealing with if you're trying to build a very powerful, successful overload deck.
Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Mouse. Mana cost 1.
Okay,
Action.
we got a
Transform
mouse
into
to
a mouse.
save us.
Mouse to mouse. Discharge. Mana cost 2. Action. Player info. Left. Right. Health 7/15.
We got 7 health left.
While confused. Your action. Mana 3/4.
And we got 3 mana left, so let's play the mouse first.
Your hand. Recall. Mana cost. Player info. Mana 3. Your hand. Recall. Bottom bar. Enter. Your hand. Mouse. Mana. Recall.
I just
Mana
want
cost
to make
2.
sure
Action.
they can't
Draw
kill
2
me.
cards. Bottom bar. Your hand. Discharge. Mana cost 2. Action. Deal 2 damage and unlock any overloaded mana slots.
We can get rid of the unlock
Button.
stuff.
Discharge.
We can
Mana cost 2.
discharge.
Scratch. Mana cost 1.
Let's discharge.
Select a target. Target fairy. Health 11/11. Target eyeball. Health 10/10. Recall.
Okay,
Mana cost
good.
2. Action.
I just wanted
Draw
to
2
get
cards.
rid of
Overload.
our
1.
overloads.
Button.
So when you play
Double tap to select.
Discharge, which is a 2 mana cost card, you're going to get rid of all your whole stack of overload. So you got to get used to giving up that mana to play Discharge, okay? So now that we're moused out, nothing can hurt us. Let's end our turn.
Bottom bar. End turn. Draw a card. Button.
Oh, actually, I
Double tap to
always
select.
do that. I like to swing down. I swipe down once, and then I swipe to the right. That tells me if I can draw a card. If you can draw a card, that means you're not out of mana. So if you don't want to keep looking at your mana by moving your fingers over, by directly touching the screen, what you can do is you can use this method. Swipe down, and then swipe to your right. You can hear if you can draw a card. If you can draw a card, that means you still have mana left. That's my little trick. So that's your pro tip number 1.
Options bar. Options. Fairy. Eyeball. Porcupine. Player info. Left weapon. Nothing equipped. Your hand. Recall. Mana cost 2.
Recall,
Action.
I think
Draw
I'll
2 cards.
recall.
Overload. 1.
And yes, I
Button.
probably made a mistake.
Double tap to select.
I should have used my discharge card after these cards.
Not enough mana.
Oh, we don't have enough. Okay, we are out of mana. I thought we had no more.
Bottom bar. End turn. Button. Draw a card. Button.
Oh, that recall is
Double tap to
2.
select.
Okay. I keep forgetting the witch hit that. Yeah, you know, the witch is... Okay, again, that's why I don't like her. She is one of the most annoying creatures in the game. She doesn't hit hard, but those mana cost increases throws your whole plan out the window. All right, let's end our turn.
Options bar. Fairy. Eyeball. Porcupine. Player info. Your hand. Bottom bar. End turn. Enemy
End our
turn.
turn.
Fairy gives allies +3 health. Eyeball attack dodge. Porcupine attack dodge. Your turn.
Again, that's why the fairy's so annoying. She heals everybody.
Options bar. Fairy. Eyeball. Porcupine.
If you've
attack
ever
2.
seen a fairy and a vampire work together, it is a nightmare. You will hate yourself.
Player info. Your hand. Bottom bar. End turn.
Okay, I don't know if we're ever to get
Button.
the hammer to come out.
Double tap to select.
I've got 2 of them in this deck.
Your hand. Volt. Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Volt.
Okay,
Mana
we
cost 2.
pulled a
Action.
Volt.
Deal set. Evade. Mana cost 1.
And we pulled
Action.
an
Block 2
evade.
damage.
So I'm
Button.
going to check how much mana
Double tap
we
to
have.
select.
We're going to be able to play one of these.
Player info. Left, right, health while confused. Mana 4/4.
Okay, we got 4 mana. Thank goodness.
Your hand. Recall. Mana cost 2.
Let's
action.
go.
Scratch. Mana discharge. Mana evade. Mana cost 1.
Let's
action.
play-
Volt. Mana cost 2. Action. Select a
Let's
target.
play
Target
evade.
fairy. Health 11/11.
Let's try to...
Target eyeball. Health. Target porcupine. Target eyeball. Health 10/10.
I want to kill...
Target porcupine. Health 11 slash. Target fairy. Health
Let's
11
kill
slash
the
11.
fairy.
Recall. Mana
I
cost
need
2.
to kill
action.
her
Draw 2
because she's
cards.
becoming
Overload.
a problem.
1. Player info. Left. Right weapon. Scimitar. Weapon. Attack. 6. Durability. 3. After
Let's
select a
kill-
target. Target fairy. Health 11/11.
We need to kill her.
Target eyeball. Health 3/10.
Oh, that's right.
Button.
I forgot. Our
Double tap to select.
Our confuse went off, so we missed her.
Target porcupine. Health 11/11. Target eyeball. Health 3/10.
Okay, let's kill the...
Right weapon. Eyeball defeated.
Okay,
Plus 2
at least
coins.
we got rid
Right
of the
weapon.
eyeball.
Scimitar. Your hand. Bottom bar. Food bag.
Okay, let's find out what's in our food
Add to your
bag.
hand.
Hopefully we get healing.
Onion. Mana cost 0. Food. Shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 4 cards. Can
Onion's
only be used
okay.
once. Carrot. Mana cost 0. Action. Look at the
Oh,
top 3 cards in your
good,
deck and
good,
pick one to
good.
draw. Can
We'll
only be
take
used once.
carrot and pull up the
Button.
hammer.
Apple. Mana cost 0.
Oh,
Food. Restore 8 health.
but
Can only
no,
be
we'll
used
take
once.
the apple.
Options.
You gotta take the apple.
Options. Fairy. Attack 2. Porcupine. Player info. Right weapon. Health 6/15.
We got 6 health.
Your hand. Recall. Bottom bar. Your hand. Apple. Mana
Okay,
cost
play
recall.
apple.
Mana cost 2. Action.
Okay.
Draw 2 cards.
All right.
Overload.
Pro tip
1.
number 2.
Button.
Be careful.
Double tap to select.
If you are suffering from paralysis, because they love to hit you with a paralysis proc when you're about to take some healing. My suggestion: take another card before so that the paralysis proc goes off. And if it does go off, you're pretty much sometimes okay to eat your food. But it doesn't always work. But that's the strategy I use. That's my pro tip.
Bottom bar. Your hand. Evade. Mana cost. Discharge. Mana cost 2.
Okay, let's,
Action. Deal 2 damage. Player info. Right web. Health 14/15. While confused. Mana 2/4. Your hand. Player info. Mana 2/4. Overload 3.
Okay, we got 3 overload. Let's play discharge. Now, see, that's the thing about an overload deck. It's slow, so you can't get too wily. You gotta use your discharge cards.
Your hand. Recall. Bottom bar. And your hand. Evade. Mana cost. Discharge. Mana. Select a target. Target fairy. Health 11/11. Target porcupine. Health 11. Target fairy.
Hit the fairy.
Health 11. Recall. Mana cost 2.
You don't want to
Action.
take
Draw 2
on the
cards.
porcupine
Overload.
until
1.
you're ready to kill it.
Player info. Left weapon. Nothing equal. Right weapon. Scimitar. Weapon. Attack. 6. Durability. 2. After each attack. Overload
Okay,
1.
we've used it up, so we will probably survive this turn.
Your hand. Recall. Bottom bar. End turn. Draw a card. Disabled. End turn.
Let's end our turn.
Enemy turn. Fairy 1 damage from poison. Fairy deals 2 damage to you. Porcupine deals 2 damage to you.
Oh,
Armor
I
appears.
forgot.
Your turn. Witness the wrath of unbreakable stone.
We do have living venom, so we do cause poison damage occasionally to our enemies. I would say it's a pretty high percentage. For the most part in this game, the status effects on weapons are pretty nice. I think it's hovering somewhere around 30 to 40%.
Bottom bar. Options bar.
All right,
Options.
hopefully we get the hammer and you can see
Double
how
tap to
this
select.
deck works.
Fairy. Attack 3. Armor. Porcupine. Player
Uh-oh,
info.
we got
Your
the
hand.
armor. Hey,
Recall.
armor.
Mana cost 2. Action.
Hey,
Draw
what's
2
up,
cards.
dude?
Overload. 1.
I love it, brother. I got
Button.
your nice smoothie.
Double tap to
Hey,
select.
that's what I'm talking about. Please come back every day and buy more of my gun show, because I'm armored.
Yeah, armored. We love armored. Armors is cool.
Bottom bar. Enter. Your hand. Uproar. Mana cost 1.
Okay, we got
Action. Deal 4
uproar.
damage. Evade. Mana cost 1. Action. Scratch. Mana. Evade.
let's
Mana cost.
evade.
Select a target. Target fairy. Attack 3. Target armor. Attack 4. Target porcupine. Attack 4.
Boy, everyone's gonna hit
Button.
like a truck.
Target armor. Attack 4.
Block
Recall. Mana
it.
cost 2. Action. Drop. Scratch. Mana cost 1. Uproar. Mana cost 1. Action. Deal 4 damage. Bottom bar.
I
Enter.
wish we had storms. These storms would work real
Double tap
good
to
here.
select. Your hand. Uproar. Mana
And
cost
we
1.
haven't pulled
Action.
the hammer
Deal 4
yet.
damage. Overload.
Okay,
Select
so-
a target. Target fairy. Health 8/11.
Let's try to kill this
Recall.
fairy.
Mana cost 2. Action. Draw
Okay.
2 cards. Bottom bar. Enter. Your hand. Scratch. Mana cost 1. Action. Recall. Mana cost 2. Action. Draw 2 cards. Scratch.
I
Mana
have
cost
to
1.
use it.
Action. Deal 2
That
damage.
recall was
Plus 2
getting
damage while in bear
super
mode.
annoying.
Bottom bar. Your hand. Bear. Mana cost 1.
We got a
action.
bear.
Draw. Root. Mana cost 2. Action.
Okay,
Draw 1 card.
again,
Start your next turn with plus 1 mana.
Roots,
Cost 1 less in mouse mode.
not going to be a great card
Button.
for a
Double tap to
overload
select.
deck, but use it when you can. If you're in mouse form, use it. It gets cut in cost. The mana cost gets cut in half. Okay.
Player info. Left weapon. Right health 10/15. Mana 0/4.
Okay,
Overload
we got
2.
0 mana, we got 10 health. Again, this deck is slow. You don't have a lot of health as Kita. So what do I suggest as an STG guideline for equipment and trinkets? Always with Kita, take anything that increases your health. Anything that increases your health is going to be. Also with Kita, you're looking for things like mana. And if you're going to be playing an overload deck, you want as much mana. So anything that increases your mana is. So those are the things you're looking for. Any trinket that increases your mana, anything that increases your health is going to be great equipment. So things that increase your health, I typically call them equipment. And anything that increases your mana, I typically call them trinkets, okay?
Your hand. Scratch. Player info. Right weapon. Health 10/15. Mana 0/4.
Okay, we got
Overload
no
2.
mana.
Porcupine. Attack
We
4.
got 2 overloads, so that's bad. We're only gonna have half mana next turn.
Armor. Attack 2. Porcupine. Attack. Player info. Left. Right weapon. Scimitar. Weapon. Attack 6. Durability 2. After
Okay,
each
we
attack,
only got
Overload 1.
2. Let's.
Select a target. Target fairy. Health 4/11.
I gotta kill that
Right
fairy.
weapon.
Sorry.
Fairy defeated. Plus 2
I have
flames.
a ton
right
of
weapon.
overload
Scimitar.
now.
Weapon. Attack. Your hand. Bottom bar. Loot bag.
All
Add
right.
to your deck.
That's not cool, but what can we do? Okay, let's see what our loot bag has.
Bewitch. Mana cost 1. Action. Set the cost of all
that's
cards in your hand to
terrible.
1. Bolster. Mana cost 1. Action.
Oh,
Give any equipment
yeah,
plus 2
yeah,
durability.
yeah.
Overload 1.
Bolster is a great
Button.
card.
Sharpen. Mana cost 2. Action. Give the weapon plus 3 attack.
And Sharpen isn't
Button.
what we're running in this
Double tap
deck,
to
so
select.
we're going to take Bolster.
Mana cost 1. Action. Give any equipment plus 2 options.
Bolster's great.
Button.
If we ever
Double
got
tap
the
to select.
Hammer equipped, you would see how good Bolster in combination with Scimitar and Hammer are. The synergy is amazing.
Option. Armor. Attack 2.
We're going to get hit for 2,
Porcupine. Attack 4.
and we're going to get for 6. I think we're almost close to death.
Player info. Left weapon. Nothing equipped. Right weapon. Health 10/15.
We got 10 health, so we're still going to survive.
Your hand. Bottom bar. Options bar. Armor. Porcupine. Player info. Your hand. Bottom bar. Options bar. Armor. Attack 2. Porcupine. Attack. Player info. Left your hand. Scratch. Monarch. Bottom bar. End turn. Draw a card. Disable.
End
turn.
of turn?
Enemy turn. Armor deals 2 damage to you. Porcupine deals 4 damage to you. Flying appears.
Oh
Your turn.
god, now we got a flying, and flying is one of the worst enemies. You can't block them unless you have a mouse out.
Bottom bar. Enter your hand. Full. Mana cost 2.
Alright,
Action.
so
Deal 7 damage.
we're in
Overload.
very,
2.
very deep trouble.
Button. Player info.
And I
Right
don't think
weapon.
we have
Nothing
any
equipped.
mana.
Right weapon. Health 4/15. Mana 1/4.
We only got 1 mana. So again, I didn't get to show you quite, but let me, again, we're gonna die here, but I'm gonna come back again and try it again. Again, these decks are basically STGs, so we know what we want to do, but it doesn't mean we're gonna always accomplish what we want. So for the most part, you get the gist. I equip a hammer, I equip a hammer and I equip a scimitar. I attack with the scimitar, which increases the hammer's attack power. And of course, I use my action cards in my hand to also increase the hammer's attack power. I use all my defensive cards to stay alive while I build up my hammer. And of course, I just use the lovely, lovely bolster, which is incredibly inexpensive, to not only increase the attack power of my hammer, but also increase the durability of the hammer. But again, we're not gonna make it this time. So like I said, this is gonna be a very short STG for now, but I'll come back. We'll call this part 1. We'll come back again and I'll try to demonstrate more of how the overload deck works. Again, I hope you got the basic principles of it.
Your hand. Scratch. Mana cost 1. Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Scratch. Root. Mana cost bear. Mana cost 1. Bolster. Mana cost 1. Action. Give
Let's
the equipment
go
plus 2
for
bear. Mana cost
turn 2.
scratch. Mana cost
Turn
1.
to a bear
Action.
and
Deal
just
2
go
damage.
out with a
plus
bear
2 damage.
bang.
Player info. Left weapon. Right weapon. Scimitar. Weapon. Attack. 12. Durability. 1. Select a target. Target flying. Health 12/12.
Let's get rid of the flying.
Right weapon. Flying
At least we
defeated.
got
Plus
rid
2
of
coins.
flying.
Your hand. Bottom bar. Food bag. Add to your hand.
Oh, maybe we'll get an apple.
Apricot. Mana cost 0.
Oh, we got
Fruit.
apricot
Become
that
invincible
keeps
for
us
1
alive.
turn. Pumpkin. Mana cost 0.
Ooh,
Fruit.
actually,
Restore
not
health and discard
bad.
3. Lemon. Mana
Let's
cost 0.
take
Pumpkin. Mana cost 6. Options.
Actually, we might live a little
Button.
bit longer,
Armor. Attack 3.
but I am running out of time today.
Porcupine. Attack. Player info. Your hand. Scratch. Mana cost
Okay,
1.
we got scratch.
Root. Mana cost 2. Bolster. Mana cost 1. Not enough mana.
I don't want to waste bolster, but
Root. Mana cost. Bolster. Full. Mana cost 2. Pumpkin. Mana cost 0.
let's play
Mana
pumpkin.
cost 2. Action. Draw 1
I
card.
wanna
Start
play
your next turn
pumpkin
with
'cause I
plus 1
wanna
mana.
live.
Your hand. Root. Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Root. Player info. Right weapon. Health 14/15.
Now we're back at almost half max health.
Mana 0/4. Overload
All right.
1. Your hand. Bottom bar. End turn.
Let's end our turn.
Enemy turn.
See, you gotta
Armor
play
deals
your
3 damage to you.
healing cards.
Porcupine deals
when
3
you have
damage to you. Witch appears. Your turn.
Okay, we got another witch. Oh, this is bad. Okay.
Bottom bar. Enter. Your hand. Guard. Mana cost 1.
Let's go
Action.
for-
Block 4 select a target. Target witch. Attack 2.
Let's block the
Root.
witch.
Mana cost 2. Action. Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Root. Player info. Mana 2. Your hand. Root. Bottom bar. Enter. Draw a card.
Let's draw a card. I didn't even have to block her, actually.
End turn. Your hand. Hammer. Mana
There
cost 2.
we go.
Weapon. Not enough mana.
And we don't have enough. There's the hammer. Again, it was a terrible, terrible draw. We didn't get hammer early, and we blew up our other weapon, the one that builds up hammer, scimitar. So again, there it is. The hammer's there. Let's see if I can salvage this play. I don't think we can.
Player info. Porcupine. Armor. Witch. Options bar. Witch. Attack 0. Armor. Attack 2. Witch. Options bar.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
Witch. Attack 0. Armor. Attack 2.
2 attack from armor.
Porcupine. Attack 2.
2 attack from porcupine.
Player info. Left weapon. Right weapon. Health 2/15.
Oh, we don't have enough health. Okay, so we are dead.
Your hand. Root. Mana cost 2. Act. Bottom bar. End turn. Draw a card.
Let's draw a card.
Enter. Your hand. Mana cost 0. Action.
Oh!
Deal 6 damage. Cost 1 less for
There
each
it
overloaded
is.
mana this
See?
game.
All has 0 cost.
Button.
Let's play
Select a
it.
target. Target witch. Health
Let's at
12/12.
least play it.
Root. Mana cost 2. Action. Draw 1 card.
Again, I
Start
like
your next
all
turn with
these
+1 mana.
overload
Cost 1 less
cards.
in mouse mode.
They all sound like shock.
Button.
They all
Double tap to select.
They all have like a thunder sound, but we're dead.
Bottom bar. End turn. Enemy turn.
We'll let them kill us.
With 1 damage from poison. Armor deals 2 damage to
Again,
you.
so
End game.
again, as I
Button.
said,
End game. End game.
we got
Okay.
a gem there.
Button. Start screen. Continue.
That
Disable.
is basically it for
Button.
our STG
Double
part
tap to select.
1. This is Kaela Platinum. The game is Conjury. The developer's name is Dean Coulter. Thank you to MyNoise for the beautiful sound. You can find everything you need to know, where to find the game in my description, where to find MyNoise, and just a lot of tips on the particular playlist. So again, if you were liking these videos, it would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe. And if you want to like it, that really lets me know you're liking what I'm doing. So I appreciate you. And if you have a question, drop me a comment. I'll definitely get to it. And again, folks, thank you very much for joining me. I'll come back again and we'll play some more overload decks with Kaela, because I'm sure it's going to come up again, because as you get to higher key levels, they start to give you the more difficult decks to play. But that's going to wrap it up for us for now, folks. Take care. Have a great rest of your wonderful Wednesday. I call this Ab Day Wednesdays because I was working on my abs today. So get your workout in. Be careful out there. It's going to be very hot today here in Midtown, 91 degrees. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with friends, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Everyone, take care. Hear you soon, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.